The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, little weed, you know.
It's the Weedsman Podcast Nugget.
Zippity what?
Ready to drop the bass? Let's drop the bass.
Whoop-de-doo. What does it all mean?
All the random stuff that didn't fit in Friday's show you'll find here.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man. You got a joint?
Got a little bit of refried smell on your boy?
What'd that mean?
Please, just give me my weed, all right?
Your car
Kids
is still not running?
I don't even care. I hate cars. I hate cars so much. I don't think I'm going to buy another car, honestly.
Wow. You're just going to lift everywhere?
But it's not like it's an investment. You're just throwing money into transportation.
Yeah.
You know, in a house, you can have an investment. You can put stuff into it. You can grow that investment. You have something that you're putting your money into versus a renter who is just throwing money at being sheltered. Unless you're a collectible car, a car collector or something like that, then it's just throwing money at transportation no matter how you look at it, whether you think you own it or not.
Warren Buffett always tells you that buying a car is one of the worst investments you can make because it depreciates as soon as you leave the lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we're right on the edge of automated transportation, and that's just going to change everything. And we're going to start looking at our cars now that we are like, oh, there's no way I could give up having my own car. And technology is like, well, what if we bring everything to you and then you have a car to use whenever, it'll come and get you, and somebody else takes care of the maintenance. You don't ever have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You just know that when you want to go out to a concert, go out to dinner, car shows up right on time, everything's clean and works great. Who needs this shit?
Yeah.
Who needs to own the car? It's never been an extension of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, like if I had a lot of money and I would just buy whatever car, then I'd be like, okay, I have choices. Let me pick the car that I feel is the coolest and the one that maybe says something about me, but that's like 1% of the population. Everybody else is like, well, this looks cool enough and I can afford it.
Yeah, it's point A to point B.
Yeah. Although I don't think I had ever seen the SNL sketch where the quote, "I drive a Dodge Stratus" came from.
Oh, you've never seen that?
And I don't know, honestly, I don't know if that was a big quote or if that was just big in our area because that was a big drop on Drew and Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
every time somebody would like act incensed about something, I drive a Dodge Stratus. So I had never seen. I was actually flipping through channels. I didn't know I had this feature on this little box that Comcast sent to me. But they have their own little collection of channels. It's not really like cable. There's an Office channel that just plays clips from The Office all day long.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And shit like that. And it's a lot of the same stuff that you get on, I guess it's basically like Pluto TV. It's a lot of that same shit. You get like 24/7 fail videos and cute cat videos. They're just culling stuff from the internet that nobody that at least has their own lawyer would be able to lay any claim to. And they can just throw up there as cheap entertainment. TV's finally starting to learn from the internet. It took long enough.
Right.
So what was I? Why did I bring this up in the first place? What was I talking about that I saw?
You saw.
I saw the SNL sketch, right?
Yes.
So they have just an SNL channel. It just plays SNL clips, which is kind of great because how often do you want to go, oh, I'm just going to sit down and watch this whole random SNL episode from 1989?
Well, back in the day, I would, but that's back when Comedy Central used to run them.
Yeah.
But I hear, now it's. I'm talking about 20 years ago.
Clip. Yeah, you can just do a whole chain of the best of Will Ferrell or whatever works out. But yeah, so I didn't know that was what's her name, Buffy.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, that was her in the sketch with him, and I felt like I missed something because I came in the middle of it. But as soon as he started yelling, I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is. And I'm like, was that the whole joke? Like the joke seemed to be about the Dodge Stratus and him thinking that it was a nice car that means that he deserves respect. Mm-hmm. Right? That's it. Because that's all this guy, they would just sit there in silence, pushing food around on a plate, pretend cutting it. Somebody would say something benign. Somebody else would reply with the snarky remark, and then everybody would start yelling.
Yeah, the sketch is called Dysfunctional Family Dinner.
Well, just think about how many sketches would never be anything, would just be totally forgettable if it wasn't for one thing that Will Ferrell did in them.
Yeah.
How do you make the cowbell sketch without Will Ferrell?
You don't. I don't think anyone else pulls that off.
Did you have band practice today, or is Mr. Larson still sick?
Oh, yeah. I could hear the knife sounds. I was like, are you eating something over there? Oh.
And they're all passive-aggressively in their plates.
What's the woman's name that's in the scene with them?
On a gas tire.
I always forget about her.
Today at work.
She was a really solid, she never seemed to have big characters or anything, but really solid actor in that.
Somebody take your keys?
Yeah, no, she was good at playing everybody.
Yeah. She was a utility.
She quit to be a mom.
Well, good for her.
Turns out that I had accidentally taken Jeff Peabody's keys and he had taken mine. We really had a long laugh.
I thought that's who took them.
So the joke is more that they're just blowing up over nothing.
Yeah.
I just assumed that Jeff
I would love to finish one damn story.
You
don't talk to me like that.
Shut up.
You don't talk to me like that. I am a division manager. That is very important. You don't talk to me like that. People are scared of me.
Why would anyone be scared of you? I hate you, you big fat turd.
Yeah, my daughter was watching this with just a blank look on her face.
Yeah.
She wasn't even sure what we were watching.
Yeah. Why is this funny?
Why are there people laughing in this scene, though?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I spoke with Paula's mom.
Remember audiences?
Yeah.
I guess Paula's really excited about the sleepover.
Dude, just...
Shut up, you drunken witch.
It's gotten to the point where it's weird watching things where people aren't based.
Oh, no, it's
going to take a while to get over this 1 year. Year and a half, 2 years. We'll see.
No, it's like even looking at things like when they're showing highlights from the Super Bowl back in February. It's like, oh my God, look at that crowd! No one's got a mask on. Everyone's so close together. What's going on? It's like, oh yeah, you could do that 10 months ago.
Right, and you're never going to be able. It'll be like the Depression. You hear stories about people's grandmothers. They grew up in the Depression, and they've got bacon fat in their fridge in a mason jar because you just don't waste anything, right?
Yeah.
My grandma was she had one of those, the rubber spatulas you use for mixing up cakes and shit like that, and she would take that to the inside of the peanut butter jar and get every last dollop out of that thing. And it wasn't because my grandparents weren't rich, but they could afford things. They didn't have to penny pinch and worry about their grocery bill, but it was just ingrained into her. Like, you don't waste shit. And now it's going to be ingrained into us that we're constantly trading germs. Most of them are benign, and even the ones that aren't don't kill us, mostly, but there's that risk.
Yeah, well, I think it's stuff we already knew, but it just, drove it home this year.
We knew, yeah. We knew it.
No,
but it wasn't hardwired into us like certain things are. Like, we don't have to talk to each other about shit and how to avoid it and why you should avoid it, right? It's just kind of hardwired into us, like, that smells and looks disgusting. I don't want to touch it.
You're right. We've now been, the last few months, we are now aware of everything that we do that puts us in contact with germs.
Yes.
We're now aware of touch points.
Yeah, and you're starting to map things out that previously were unimportant, that weren't worth tracking. So I touched that, and somebody else touched that same thing, and then they touched this, and then somebody else touched that, and they coughed on that person.
Yeah.
And then Giuliani blew his nose into his hanky and then wiped it over his forehead.
Yeah. Never understood people who do that. Like, I've never understood the concept of a handkerchief. Like, what? So it's a Kleenex you carry around with you and never throw out?
My dad tried to get me to, because I was a snotty little kid. Like, literally, I've always had allergies. I've been a little fucking nerd. And he was like, you gotta carry around a hanky with you. I'm like, in my mind, something I blow into, once I blow my nose into something, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull it apart and reuse it or even wash it. I don't ever want to see that thing again. And that goes for most things that come out of my body. I don't carry them around. I'll save this goober for later.
Yeah, like, to me, a handkerchief is like reusing underwear.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've blown my nose into this. We're done with this. Now
I think if he would, but if Giuliani would have used the hanky properly, I would have still considered it in the disgusting range, but still quaint enough. He's an old guy. He uses a hanky like a gentleman, but he completely misunderstood the purpose of the hanky. He blew his nose into it, looked at it.
Well, he's crazy.
And then didn't fold it over. Like, he folded it back on itself and then wiped the snotty part all over his face.
He's he's going crazy, and we all have a front seat for it.
Yeah. Giuliani's always been crazy. People liked he got a lot of notoriety as a prosecutor, I guess, and people liked that. He was going after the, Wall Street bigwigs.
He did clean up New York.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did turn New York into he turned Times Square into a tourist destination instead of somewhere where, you'd go to get a hooker or drugs / mugged. A
lot of questions about how he did that, but, we've all seen The Wire and whatnot. We know how this shit goes. But then he got a second revival as America's mayor because he just happened to be there.
Yeah, whoever would have been there would have gotten that rep.
Yeah.
It's like I was going to say about the president in the late 90s when the internet boom was happening. It was just luck of the draw who was there at the time. That was happening no matter who was in office because that's just where technology was at the time.
Oh yeah, it's like Trump constantly taking credit for whatever whatever the stock exchange is hitting. It hit I don't know, 30,000 simoleons or whatever the fuck it does.
That's a big deal though today.
Yeah, it was some sort of record number that it hit that didn't mean anything to me, but Trump came out just long enough to brag about it.
Yeah, he wandered out in the middle of a press conference.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't take any questions because I think the first question would be, well, don't you think that's because the Biden team finally got their transition money and started getting stuff? There was something that happened vaccine. In what's that?
Actually, it was because there was a third vaccine. The market's been going nuts the last week and a half because of the vaccines.
Yes, yeah, that too. Yes, but it's a lot of stuff that doesn't have anything to do with Trump.
Yeah. But again, you get to do that. You know, if it hits 35,000 or 40,000, Biden gets to go, hey, I did that.
That's fine. That's part of the job. That's the position. You get to take that win.
Hey, it's being in charge. You get all the credit and all the blame. So when it goes to shit, you also get it thrown at you as well.
Right. Although Trump managed to avoid getting the blame for anything, right? Just openly saying, I take no blame for anything.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
I want all the credit and none of the blame. That's how Donnie rolls.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
I guess there was a big Parler hack.
Cool.
Are you familiar with Parler?
Isn't it right-wing Twitter?
Well, yeah, it's a social media site that touts to be less discerning, I guess. They claim to be free of any type of censorship, and yeah, that's where once Twitter started flagging the president's tweets, people were like, "That's it, we're going to Parler." And recently, there's been some. That's also where they're all going to talk shit about Fox News and DM each other all kinds of racist shit, I would assume.
That's just fun. It's put all the crazy people in one spot, just so we know where you're all at.
Right. It got hacked, and somebody's got. So this is all kind of developing as we're recording this. I just found out about it, and there was somebody on Twitter who I wasn't familiar with, and you know they had a blue check mark, so they're at least who they said they were. I have no idea the veracity of their claims, but they claim to have read over 5,000 incriminating DMs. Now that might be hyperbolic, not incriminating in the traditional like they're committing crimes, but just stuff that you could politically blackmail people with.
What someone hacked Parler and read people's DMs?
Yeah.
Well, but
they have everything.
But also, so what? It's private. Like people can. I say to this person, if we went into your phone, you're pure as the driven snow. All of your texts, everything you've ever sent anybody, you're fucking super clean. It's the Bill Burr line. If your phone got hacked in tomorrow, would you be blameless? Would you be able to keep your job? Like, I guess that's the problem I have with people who do that kind of shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about. To me, Parler is just another social media platform for me to ignore.
Oh, sure.
But it's like people who do that shit. Like, okay, if we turn this on you, you're perfect. Like that's the problem I have with people who do this kind of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not supporting the hack per se, and I'm just gleefully awaiting all the dishy stuff that we're gonna see from this hack. Hopefully, I mean it's pure spectatorism, you know. I admit it, but I would never. Like, if I had the skills to hack anybody, a platform, an individual person, if I cared enough to invest in doxing people, I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Because I guess what people who are, I said this to Rich on a regiment the other day, I feel like I turned 40 and I turned 65. What the fuck was I just, damn it, I hit my vape pen and exhaled, so I lost the thought that I had.
You're saying to Rich about doxing people and
I'm trying to figure out what
turning 40.
No, where's my thought going on that? I'm trying to get back into where I was thinking.
I'm gonna hit my vape pen. Maybe it'll help. Hold on.
No, it was about doxing.
Yeah.
And why you shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Mustn't have been that important. I fucking lost it with an exhale.
Well, right, but I openly admit that, that I don't think it's right, but I'm fine with it, right? It's like, it's hypocritical of me. It's like if I was to say, well, I don't think anyone should have, if they have nude photos on their phone, which I do believe this, I don't think that people should hack into this and release it.
Oh, I got it. I got where I was heading with this.
And yet, if I really don't believe that, if I really believe that, and that means something to me, then I would have never have looked at any of those leaked photos. And it's interesting. Like there's two people that I know that both have podcasts that I listen to pretty religiously, very different on the spectrum. Adam Carolla and Penn Jillette, right? Both of them have said on their podcasts that they have not seen any of the nude photos from there was a clever name for it that we had, but the
fappening?
The fappening, yes.
Oh, that shit's from like fucking 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, by this time they may have just stumbled across one of those pictures and not known it, but they were never like, oh, nude pictures of so-and-so are out there. Go hit the Google machine and see if we can bring it up.
I'll say, as soon as I heard Kate Upton was in it, that's all I needed to hear.
I know. It's like, kind of hard to resist.
Yeah. Like, yes, please.
Yeah. But so, like, Penn Jillette has done it out of principle, right? I mean, I think that's not to say Adam Carolla doesn't do it out of principle, too. There's also a big slice of I don't give a fuck.
Well, he's also a technological idiot.
Well, right.
The only way he would come across those is accidentally, unless it was one of his staff sent them to him.
Yeah.
Somehow was somewhere between car websites. He somehow stumbled upon Kate Upton's boobies. It would be purely because, one of his assistants sent it to him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just to say that those are two examples of people who have taken an actual stance on it. Whereas I can't sit here and go, well, that's horrible that happened because I've seen the photos. I looked at them.
The thought I forgot relating all to this was that there are people younger than us who don't realize when you do stuff like that, and I'll speak in language that they understand because they love this word, you normalize it. You make that behavior okay. It's
right.
And we see it a lot in politics. There's no more taking the high road. It's now tit for tat, right? You did it, so we're going to do it. And I guess that's what people younger than us don't realize. When you do shit like that, you make it okay.
Yeah, but I think that they are okay. They don't think that it's bad, right? So there's no thing like fooling themselves into thinking it's okay. Like they've already done that.
Well, because they've lost it's another big word nowadays. There's no empathy, right? Especially when the internet's involved. Just imagine if it.
No, well,
imagine if it was turned on you. If that should be your barometer for if this is okay. If this was turned around on you, that should be your barometer. Would you want this done to you?
That's the thing about what internet has done to our communications. It hasn't taken empathy out of it. It's made empathy a divisive issue. So I can have empathy for somebody who I know agrees with my viewpoint. If I see a liberal attacked online, I can have empathy. If I see a conservative get attacked online, I can have schadenfreude because I shouldn't have any empathy for them. They are other.
I guess that's how you want to roll. I just like just my barometer is always like, if this was turned on me, would this be cool? But I'm over 40 now. I'm irrelevant. What's the matter?
Right, but I think there's a lot of people who feel like they would be cool, right? Who feel like they have really nothing to hide.
So you would be cool. You would be cool with it. So if this happened to you, back to the person who.
Me personally, I guess if you're asking me, I don't know. I was like when you proposed it earlier, I was thinking about are there any certainly there's stuff that I would be embarrassed about, but do I think there's anything that people would make a big deal about or could cost me a job or if it got out online and went viral for some reason that I would be doxxed or something like that. I don't think there's anything there. I would just be embarrassed like anybody if somebody read your diary, so to speak. But I don't feel like I have anything to hide in that respect. That doesn't mean that I'm not saying that my stance is, as long as I have nothing to hide, therefore I don't fear being doxxed. I mean, it's the same way we talk about our private lives in relation to the government. And, we went through a lot of this post 9/11 and all the spying that our own country did on us under Obama's administration. And there was a lot of, if you don't have anything to hide, then what are you really worried about? They're only going after quote unquote bad guys.
Yeah, but the thing is now is we're in this new murky territory where people are losing their livelihood simply because someone disagrees with them on something.
Right, exactly. They're not threatening anyone's life. They're not trying to overturn a government or a system of beliefs. They may have even just misspoke or be ignorant.
Yeah, and their lives are being blown up because they have a different stance on a subject other than you. And I just can't get behind that.
And that's where I'm with you on the on the empathy thing. It's kind of the difference. Like, it's why TV and movies are so important. I know it's kind of a ridiculous thing to say, but I truly believe this. It allows us to hold two thoughts in our head at the same time.
What?
We can watch Succession and go, these people are vile. These people deserve to fail. They deserve everything that's coming for them. And you can see the look on Kendall's face and go, oh my God, he's just a hurt kid. He's just somebody who's constantly tried to get his father to love him and failed. You can hold both of those thoughts in your head at the same time. And when we see so-and-so does something, has a flub online or even just said something racist, and we immediately, that's who I have no idea who this person is, never heard of him this morning, but this afternoon I saw him on Twitter and now I hate that person. Yeah. Don't know him from Adam, but everybody is hating on this person. I'm going to hate on him too. And you don't have that opportunity to actually examine and go, and it's not to say that if somebody's being racist, they deserve empathy and response. Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean that there isn't still a human being in there who can possibly change.
Yeah, there's a hockey player. The NHL draft was a few weeks ago. There was a guy who got drafted, and then he got dropped by his team about tweets that he sent when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah, that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Imagine the stupid ideas that you thought about people and government.
You found me at 13.
What's going on in the world at 8th fucking grade? These people have filled your head with this nonsense about men and women relationships and what it means to be a man and all this dumb shit. And you figured out exactly nothing. You shouldn't be. This is why we don't try you as an adult for criminals. Why we have empathy for people because their brains have not fully developed. You cannot hold them accountable for that shit.
Yeah. So apparently you are not a different person at 19 or 20 than you are at 13. You gotta go.
And all because organizations are afraid to take a little bit of heat on Twitter.
People just have to start realizing but they're not. A dozen idiots on Twitter is not a thing, but there's still news stories all the time, about social media reacts to this, and you look at it and it's like maybe a dozen tweets about, a dozen, it's never really this huge swath of people.
No, you know how you get something to go viral? You say something outrageous or you be outraged personally. You tweet it and you get five of your bot accounts to like it and retweet it. And then people just go, oh yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, here's an opportunity to let everybody know that I'm a good person too.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm disagreeing with this too. But, follow us on Twitter at @TheWeasel420.
That's right. No, fuck that. We're going to Parlor.
You go. Tell me how it is.
It's apparently just filled with nonsense and porn for the most part. And ads.
Yeah, I like porn.
The ads that I get when I go to Twitter on my computer, I get way different ads than I get when I look at it on my phone.
Yeah, it's based on your device.
I'm using the same browser. It's Firefox on my PC and on my. Oh my God! Holy shit! They uncovered it.
What?
Sorry. Here, maybe I can send you this. I got distracted because I was following this earlier. They had found. So they went over. I don't know why they were like. Maybe they were surveying a part of Utah or something like that. But they were
the monolith.
They found this monolith. They found what looked to be a metal object that was buried in the ground, and I guess they were doing like LiDAR or something like that. I think is what they use that can actually penetrate the ground. And so they dug it out, and there's a video of it, and it's what the fuck? What the fuck? That's like a perfect triangular pillar. This has got to be a fucking prank, man. This is fucking crazy. Mysterious monolith discovered in the desert. Maybe some Burning Man freaks buried this.
Oh shit!
Or something.
Oh man, this is aliens type of shit.
Monolith in a remote area of the state. The sleek metal structure embedded in the ground is at least 10 feet tall.
It's like Flight of the Navigator kind of shit.
And no one knows how it got there. Ooh. Maybe it was dropped on us by the Russians to try and blow up our country. No, really, I don't know how much actual science there is behind this, but I think it's pretty solid, actually. I've seen this. This was in the second G.I. Joe movie and also in the comic book by Warren Ellis. It was Wildstorm, the recent Wildstorm reboot. They had just the weapon was just a satellite out in space with these fairly sizable metal rods, and they would just drop them. And when they hit, the impact after traveling at terminal velocity through the environment, I guess would still have enough force behind it to take out an area for miles and miles around it.
Fuck is this thing, man? I mean, this is just 2020, the year we finally meet aliens. It was just
this thing. So it's sticking out of the ground so they didn't dig this out. There's no way if you see it, like it's in this flat area, there's rocks around it, but there's no way that they were like, oh, let's quickly dig this out and then just had this like stadium sized hole. So this thing was already sticking out of the ground. I thought that they said it was buried though.
Maybe they thought it was buried? Because the initial thing I read is they just saw it from the air.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so only 10 feet of it is actually sticking out. So it's halfway sticking out of the ground. The other half of it is in the ground. It doesn't.
It's weird.
It's hard to tell, but that looks like some pretty compact ground around that. That thing doesn't look like it was buried anytime soon. It certainly doesn't look like it was dropped there. Object bears resemblance to the Black Monument in Stanley Kubrick's 1968 film. It comes from an unseen alien civilization.
That's what I'm saying, man. They put an antenna here.
Kind of does. I mean, I know it's a different shape,
back,
but yeah, what the fuck, man?
It would just add to this year. Of course, we meet aliens in 2020.
I was just thinking that they would find, some new archaeology site, and it was some crazy totem that Native Americans had there. Or something, and they would, uncover something that looked old, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. Lots of people would make end of the world jokes.
Oh wait, this could be, or is this an antenna to the paranormal world?
Yeah, I'm sure Twitter's blowing up over this now, going, "What the fuck, 2020?"
Yeah, that's strange, man. What if this is this is a publicity stunt? Whoever did this is genius. This is for a movie.
Yeah. They're opening a new mall nearby.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Simpsons, right?
The skeleton,
yeah.
About the angel skeleton in The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the same one where Mr. Burns was getting the shots that would make him luminescent?
No.
Or no, it wasn't. He would get the treatment, or the luminescence was part of working at the a nuclear power plant for so long. But he would get they'd get him whacked out on some kind of live forever serums or some shit. And he'd wander around in the woods.
Yeah, no, that was when that was a different episode.
Yeah, similar themes.
Yes.
But I'm complete. Yeah, those are two different things. So, but I think Mr. Burns was supposed to be like a ghost or some shit.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Whereas Homer was, remember Homer made like he had people come to see the angel.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, looking at this fucking thing, dude, it's like at a Flight of the Navigator.
How many things has Homer charged admission for?
Oh my God.
Right? A totally old-timey, like, sitcom trope of get something and put it up in your garage and charge people $1 just to come see it.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.